Welcome to another episode of M.R.S. the podcast. We are your hosts, Shika.
It's Nisa.
And SB. And today we are talking to you guys about a topic you might roll your eyes at a little bit, but it's healthy relationships and all aspects of healthy relationships.
Yes, and this is something we all need to be serious about because it can definitely affect our well-being.
Absolutely. And I'm really happy that we're talking about relationships because I have a little bit of tea for y'all.
Tea, Lord.
I mean, I was telling you guys about it earlier, but I want to bring in the fam and get y'all's advice. A little two-piece. So basically, y'all know I've been single for a year. Haven't really been dating because I just don't want to. But as of recently, I've been posting more on Instagram, try to pop out and show people. and I've been getting some swipe ups.
Okay.
So recently, this guy that I used to talk to from high school, y'all, we briefly dated for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we stopped talking because, college. He was in a relationship. He's still in a relationship, but because of the relationship, we wasn't talking. Because
wait, so he swiped up while he's in a relationship?
Anywho,
child.
Yeah. So we can first off all agree that people in relationships can have casual conversations with the opposite sex. Are we all?
Yes, as long as there's no flirting.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Respecting the relationship. Cool. All right. So we're having the casual conversations. And things become very personal, very deep. And he also starts to flirt with me, y'all. The flirting was to the point where it was like really uncomfortable. Ooh. And I'm like, I had to ask. I'm like, are you still in a relationship or not? His story was he's mentally checked out of the relationship. They've been together for like 6-7 years. And the girl is asking for more time. But he's like, we about to hit 30, so what more time do you want? Anyways, I'm like, I think it's best for you to just fix those problems with your girl and, maybe in the next 5 years we can revisit this, maybe.
Why is he dumping all of that on you, though?
Hey,
a swipe up.
It's like he's venting.
Her therapist.
Yeah.
Her personal therapist.
This degree in psychology ain't official as of yet. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it because, in my past relationship, there was some instigation of cheating. Mm-hmm. And, being on both sides now, like being cheated on and being cheated with, it's weird. Like, to me, I know people cheat. Mm-hmm. Why do they cheat? It's beyond me. But it was just really weird. Like, why do y'all think that people will step outside of their relationships?
Well, I think people will step outside their relationships because I feel like they're not receiving something within that relationship that's satisfying their needs. Mm. And I think when you're not receiving it from the person, you're trying to look for it outside. Mm-hmm. But that also I would think that they're basically not communicating and telling each other, I'm not receiving this. So they have lack of communication, lack of respect, lack of honesty, and
lack of everything, to be honest. Yeah. I feel like also too, I don't know, I hear the term like it's easier to tell others your problems than to speak to your partner. So it goes to a thing where, do you have a relationship with your partner where uncomfortable conversations are easy to have? Mm-hmm. So maybe his partner doesn't make him safe enough to have uncomfortable conversations, and he has to, vent to a stranger, completely neutral. However, it's still wrong. Not saying that this is right or anything.
Definitely.
Yes, maybe he needs to vent, but hearing, an outsider talk about something you're telling them, you may lean the person more on your side and your partner's side. So maybe that he's trying to get like confirmation also, like it's okay to walk away. I don't know,
but for me though, it's like if you're feeling like you're unheard, you're not being respected, why are we still in this relationship?
That's the problem.
Why not just leave? Why
just
leave? Out?
Do they have kids?
No, they don't have kids. They live together though.
Do they have animals?
Oh yeah, the pets are kids.
Because pets are kids, you guys. People share ownership of their pets.
In this day and age, yes.
They co-parent their pets for sure. And I do, that connection. I get that. But
But I was gonna ask, like, they've been together for 7 years. 7 years?
I think so.
7 years. And he's saying that they're pushing 30 and he just don't want to be with her anymore. They're having problems.
Like, based on what he was saying, things have been communicated and nothing has changed. It seems like the girl is really comfortable in the relationship and she doesn't want to pour into him as he pours into her.
But what does that have to do with you? And what does that have to do with him entertaining these level of conversations with you?
I said, so how is your relationship going? Because
you asked him that? I asked. Shay Sheila.
I'm asking because you're in my inbox having deep conversations, flirting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's something wrong because you look on her Instagram page, they're coupled up, they're booed up on her Instagram page, but you go on his page, there's no sign of her.
Red flag.
So, this brings me to another topic. How do you guys feel about your partner posting you on social media?
I don't have a problem with it.
I think we kind of touched on it in episode 1, but I feel like this scenario also proves why people feel like you need to have your partner posted because people are doing things like that. She has him and he doesn't. So it's hard to, differentiate if he's in a relationship for real or if she just can't let go. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
I feel like posting your significant other on social media, though, is kind of like a form of PDA, like publicly showing that you love this person.
And you're in a relationship.
And if you're active on social media, it helps the onlookers to say, oh, I can't flirt with this person. Just that block.
Yeah. But does it ever really stop them, though? Like,
this is true.
I feel like people may still inbox the person, whether they're in a relationship or not. I mean, like, you can't control what other people are doing, right? But it's your job to definitely respect your relationship and let people know that I'm in a relationship. This is my boundary. You can't cross it.
Right. I agree with you.
So how do y'all think, like, cheating even... Well, I think I kind of asked that. You said a lack of respect and everything like that. But I'm thinking, like, about the partner that's being cheated on. So in my situation prior, my relationship, we weren't together during the time, but the girl thought that we were still together, and that's why someone came to me as a woman, and it was so cringe because not only did she come to me as a woman, she was mad because I didn't leave my man after she came to me as a woman.
That's a problem, right?
But I'm like, girl, like, we were not together during that time, so technically it wasn't cheating.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's this topic is like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a thin line.
Yeah, like one side it could get very disrespectful, and then one side is like, okay, maybe they're not it's you teeter in the sides.
But it's like it's either you in or you out. That's just how it's like, to me, it's black and white. Either you're in a relationship or you're not.
I agree, but because there's these, what he said, conversations that they have, and also to the social media, one has the person on the social media, it kind of borders what I was saying, like the double-edged sword, because if I was to go to his page, I would assume he's single. Right. So for you to ask, you probably asked because of the past relationship, and because that's the type of woman you are. Like, hey, I know you have a woman, so let me just put that boundary out there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of want to go into maintaining healthy relationships romantically, though, so we can just kind of prevent the need to cheat. I don't know why people need to cheat. I don't know what that mentality is. I have never done it, so don't want to. My person is my person. I think I'm going to just say this before we get into the maintenance of it. I think liking your partner is important.
And being friends with your partner.
Being friends with your partner.
You gotta be friends.
Liking and being friends with your partner has to be number one. And I think another issue is people will be in friendships and then try a romantic relationship
and it don't work.
It doesn't work. Yeah. It's okay to just be friends. Yeah, you might be like attracted, especially if you're a heterosexual person and you're friends with the opposite sex. Of course, that attraction may come about, but sometimes every relationship doesn't have to expand or evolve into a romantic relationship. Right. But since we're talking about romantic relationships, I want to ask the married lady, how do you maintain a healthy relationship that leads into marriage?
Communication. And I know everyone always be like, communication, but it's really vital in a relationship or a marriage. Communication. You're not feeling good today. Don't just be having an attitude and be like, like actually say, babe, I'm not feeling good today. Like I'm really not in the mood. Then at least they know, okay, my wife, my husband not feeling good today. Let me do something to make them feel special. Because they're gonna be like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You need to tell me, right? They can't read your mind. That's just an example, guys. So I would say 2, loyalty. Loyalty, come on. If we're talking about serious relationship, marriage, we have to respect each other and let each other know that you're my person, I'm your person. There's no one else coming into this. Period. I'm not gonna allow anyone to affect what we got going on. Period. Don't care who it is. And then I would say trust. Have to have trust. Not you, like when your partner is not around, you can't just be thinking, I wonder if they doing something like
that's annoying.
No,
that's
you can't
stressful.
Do that. Yeah, so you definitely want to have trust within each other, and I feel like there's more things too, but I feel like those 3 go like
hand in hand.
Yeah.
So you said communication, loyalty, and trust.
Yeah.
I hope y'all are listening because a lot of y'all are not married. I'm not married, so I'm listening. So listen to the married couple.
But you have had healthy relationships before too.
I have had healthy relationships. I ended up being on good terms with probably out of the people I've dated, I want to say 2 out of the 3. Okay. We have a pretty decent relationship in terms of we check in on each other every once in a while. Not texting like heavily, but hey, I hope you're doing well. Anything new in your life, and that's it. Like that's as far as it goes. When I was in these relationships, one thing I would say, going back to like what we brought up in the beginning, your person has to be your partner. Not your partner, your friend. I'm so sorry. Yeah. The person has to be your friend. If that's your friend, it makes difficult conversations easier to have because the level of comfortability. Okay. The level of comfortability is there. So awkward conversations are no longer awkward, and you're able to problem solve a little bit quicker because, hey, this is my best friend. Like, let's just knock the problem out. I don't know. I've always tried to, I'm not going to lie though. It has been hard being in those relationships because my way sometimes is to shut down and shut off. And that's not healthy. And then, you have to learn your person, and your person's way of handling problems, you shutting off may trigger them, and they want you to handle it now. They're more confrontational. So it's a fine balance, but that needs to be your friend. That's the only way I think it's going to be successful.
So pretty much what I'm gathering from you guys is that to maintain a healthy relationship with your romantic partner, you have to be vulnerable, willing to be vulnerable with them, willing to just fully express yourself to that person, being comfortable with them, because that's how you are with your best friend, essentially. So, okay.
And then I did want to add one more thing, like, and I know this might sound cliche, but like when you're in a relationship, you definitely also have to be mindful of each other's feelings because you don't want to be you don't want to come off too aggressive or too unsensitive when it comes, because you have, like Mishika said, you have to be vulnerable, right? And sometimes in those moments, someone is being vulnerable and you're just like not sensitive about it, and then they might not want to open up about certain things anymore. So I just feel like you have to definitely just be respectful of each other's feelings.
Yeah. So do you think, like, just piggyback on that, because something just like clicked in my head, body language. You think also too the body language plays a part into that when your partner is being vulnerable and sensitive with you, and you're just like, just like showing your body language also too. I don't think a lot of us are aware of our body language.
Yeah.
And the body language could kind of push your partner away, or bring them in.
Yeah.
So body language too.
And
I like that.
Yeah, and it might turn them off, and that's when you end up having problems. Just probably what's going on in that guy.
Probably.
I'm
trying.
Crazy.
So, I mean, me and that guy, we briefly dated for a little bit after high school. So that made me think, like, how do y'all feel about maintaining relationships with your ex when you're still in a relationship? Is that like a no-go? Like, we ain't doing it?
No. If I get in a new relationship, I'm not checking in with my ex.
Like, what?
I don't even think any right-minded partner would want you to check in with your ex while you're actively in a relationship. Like, you're actively dating.
Yeah. Right.
I think they probably think you're crazy.
Like, why are you going back to that?
Yeah. Why are you entertaining it? Or do you think you want something to come out of it? Yeah. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But it's a no-go for me. Period. Yeah. But if you're single and they're single,
yeah, I mean, that's fine. But in a relationship, we need respect. Respect has to go both ways. And
straight across the board.
So one thing, because my last relationship was like my first ever relationship. Everything before that was like situationships. And I think it's important for people who have never been in a relationship before to understand and be around people who are in relationships, like serious committed relationships, because what I was doing was I was still acting like I was in a situationship,
versus a relationship,
versus an actual partnership. Like, I didn't understand that a relationship is a partnership. Like, we are both working towards building up the relationship. It's not just one-sided.
Right.
So with me not knowing how to be in a relationship, I didn't really treat my partner right. Like, I was bringing in things that I was doing from the situationships into a new relationship. Like,
oh no, what were you doing?
A really big problem was responding to DMs where people have like sent heart eyes or complimented. I didn't see it as a big deal, but my ex-partner saw it as an issue. I'm like completely disregarding his feelings because I'm like, it's not a big deal. Like, just not even thinking, like, even if it's not a big deal to me, it's a big deal to my partner. And the situation is coming against us as a couple rather than me versus him. Like, that was never the situation. But I didn't know that. And I think it's important for people who have never been in a relationship before and want to be in a relationship before to study healthy partnerships and healthy relationships to understand how to actually treat a person. Because, I mean, we talked about in our previous episode, those social media expectations. If you're always on social media and you're seeing relationships on social media, that's not real. That's not real life. Like, those things that happen, it's not real. And that's kind of where I was coming from, where I think I said in the last episode, I was following a lot of escorts and a lot of sugar babies. And I kind of expected that from my relationship, but that's not real. No. So I just think that before we even think about healthy relationships, we need to see what it looks like up front. And majority of us get that from our parents, our family. How do y'all think the family dynamic affects your view on partnership?
I can take this one. My parents have been married for like 30-something years. My dad said when he seen my mom, he just knew. Like, he was like, I'm going to marry her. And I will forever tell this story, like, anytime. Now, because they didn't even, like, my dad didn't even propose or anything like that. He was just like, hey, do you want to get married? And my mom was like, yeah. And that was it. It was like, no, like, get down on a knee or anything. Like, they just knew. So because I grew up in the household where, he was so sure of who would be his partner, it kind of makes me be like, okay, I feel like my partner will also be sure in their actions of what they want from out of me. Like, so, and what I want from out of them, because she said she wasn't like, supposedly she said she wasn't dating at the time or she wasn't interested, but my dad caught her attention too as well. But it's just so crazy, like, you know,
uncle.
Right? He just seen her and he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna marry her.
Period.
Never had a conversation with her or anything. Just, I'm gonna marry her.
Wow. That's so cute.
And he got her. They've been married 2 kids later.
So, how do you feel like your family dynamic has affected your romantic relationship?
Well, not to get too deep, but I never grew up in a 2-parent household, so I didn't really have that example of this is how it should be, this is how it shouldn't be. But that, me not growing up in that 2-parent household, definitely plays I wouldn't say effect, but like
played a
role in how I view and how I would want my relationship to be like, or marriage. So I would definitely want my husband and I to live together, have a healthy relationship, have kids together, and we're all in the same household, basically.
Yeah.
So I would just view it as, even though I didn't have that example, not having that example actually strengthened my mind, knowing that, okay, even though didn't have that example, this is what I know, what I want out of this marriage. And it kind of strengthened me in that aspect.
Ooh, that made me a little emotional. That's really good. That's really good. That was really good. You know, as a psych major,
oh Lord,
I understand that our childhood directly affects our adulthood. A big thing that is going around, I don't know if y'all ever heard about attachment styles. So you can have a secure attachment where you're secure within yourself, you're secure within your partner, and everything's copacetic. You can have an anxious attachment where you're always like, I don't trust this person, I don't trust myself, I need to know what they're doing 24/7, I'm gonna put a tracker on their phone, I need to know. And then you have like the avoidant attachment style where you don't really show feelings, like you're just super nonchalant. Somebody showing that they like you, like, oh, thanks. That's me.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just like, okay, you tell me you like me, which is nice. I need to see the action though.
Okay.
That's how it is in my brain. So, what do you guys think your attachment style is?
Honestly, I don't know. I would probably have to research a little bit more. But for me, if I like you, you're the only person I like until you make me not like you. Like, I'm like full on, like, no one else can have my attention. No one else interests me but you.
Yeah. I would say I'm not laid back, but I like the action.
No, for sure.
I'm very like, you love me, I love you too. Very vocal. But I will also want to see and feel it too.
Absolutely.
Not just words.
Just the words.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, what words do you guys need though? Like, do you need the actual words like I like you, or in your case, I love you? Like, do you need those actual words to feel it? Or is it more like giving like a hug or doing something so like you brought up? Languages? Yeah, like does it more go to like a love language?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, words of affirmation is cute, but I feel like talk is cheap, and I need to see that action. I'm just saying, because you could say I love you, I like you, and don't do anything to back it up. Like, it's nice to hear, but for me personally, I need your time, and I need you to do some things for me.
Okay, so I got a question. Now I'm gonna pick her brain apart. So okay, I text you this morning. Hey, I'm gonna be busy. Thinking about you. That's it. It's like 6 p.m. Is that enough for you? I texted you this morning. I'm gonna be busy.
And then still thinking it's 6 p.m.
It's 6 p.m. 6 you know my day has ended at 5.
Right.
And it's 6 p.m. and you have not heard from me.
So I'm gonna message you and ask. I'm gonna follow up and be like, "Yo, thinking about you. Hope you had a good day." Things like that. But if you don't respond, I'm learning now to be okay, because people actually do be busy. Like, people don't really be having it depends on
But no, hold on, you not answering the question.
It depends. It depends.
She has an anxious attachment style, because if he is not messaging her, you heard her what she said. She's gonna think she's like,
if he's not messaging me, I'm going to check in. I'm going to be like, I hope your day is okay.
Why? He told you in the beginning, my day is going to be busy. I'm thinking about you. Have a good day.
Because it's now 6 p.m. and I want to make
You see what I'm saying? She has an anxious attachment style.
I don't call it anxious because I'm not like
whatever she just said, just scratch it in the beginning.
Not stressed because you just told me that you're busy. You just told me that you're busy, so I get that, but I also want to follow up. I'm learning because the guy. I don't know if I want to bring this up, but
okay, don't bring it up then.
No, it's okay. The guy that I'm talking to now, he's a busy person, and we could go a day or two without talking. And I'm learning now to be okay with that. Okay. Like prior to, I was getting like messages back to back. Like we would talk throughout the entire day, and I'm now understanding not everybody is the same, and I can't really expect the same thing out of each person.
That's true.
So it just depends, SB. Thank you.
She has an anxious attachment style. She just does not know it yet because she's used to it. But you know, it's a good question. That type of communication, is that also an attachment style? The communication that the person is giving you, is that an attachment style? That's why I asked you.
Yeah, we definitely need to do more research into attachment styles. But I think it's important to know the type of attachment style that you have, and know the type that your partner has, so that we can have healthy communication. Yes, because you did say communication is important. Yes, but if I'm talking off your ears and you're not listening, comprehending what I'm telling you, there's no point of communication. That's like talking to a brick wall.
That's true.
Yeah.
Respectful. Like listening attentively, because you know people be like, I heard you.
Be on their phone.
Listen to respond, not to understand.
Yeah, that's shoot, and I am guilty of that. Like I'll be talking to somebody and I'm like, oh, they just said something really good. You know, try to hold it into my head, but not. Then I'm like no longer focused on what they're saying because that one thing that they said, I'm ready to respond to that. Mm-hmm. So I am guilty.
I think we're all guilty of that to a certain aspect, especially if you're having like a really good conversation and the person make a good point, you're like, oh yes, like yes,
type into that.
Let's go back into that person.
Yes.
Oh my god. So when I'm looking for a partner nowadays, I want a man that likes his mom. I'm not talking about like a mama boy, but someone who respects his mom. That's real. That's real.
Very serious.
If he can't respect his mom,
he won't respect you.
He's not going to respect me at all, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just think that the family dynamic is extremely important in how we're maintaining our adult relationships nowadays.
I have a question regarding to family dynamics. Do you think, because you know some people go for the same dynamic. They would say, I had 2-parent household. I want someone who have 2-parent household. Do you think that is important to date someone with the same dynamic as you? Or does it even matter?
I don't think it's important. If you like the person, you just like the person. Yeah. Their background does not matter. It's about what the person does from their background.
I don't know.
Go deeper into that.
I'm kind of scared to, though, because it's such a sensitive topic. Like, a man that grew up where his mom is the only person in the household, where she had to struggle with, like, she's the father and the mother, he may feel like women need to be just like his mom. And there's women that grew up in 2-parent households who never experienced what his mom experienced. Right. So they don't have that, I don't want to say like that greed, like that. I don't even want to say greed, like that greed, but I want to say they don't have that type of
understanding.
Yeah, I don't know how I want to phrase that because I don't want to offend anybody, but they don't have that what that person's parent experienced. They have the 2-parent household. So I can't. I don't know. It's just all about how he views his partner because
and respect.
I can't. That one is a tough one because if your mom is a no limit soldier, my mom is not a no limit soldier. So I don't know how to be like your mom.
How to be a no limit soldier.
I don't know how to be a no limit soldier.
Do you think that can in this generation? Do you think that affects how relationships are right now?
That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people will take what they get from their family and expect that from their partner. Right. And I don't know if that's fair because we all didn't grow up the same.
That's
I understand if we grew up in different households and we try to understand how each other grew up, that's fine. But don't place that expectation on me.
Don't.
If your mom paid all the bills and lifted all the heavy stuff, I did not grow up that way. So
don't say that. I expect you to.
But also, just because I didn't grow up that way doesn't mean that I can't learn to
pick up something, pick up the load on something.
Independent.
Yeah, I think that's like a better way of putting it. But I mean, a lot of men like, just like the dialogue I hear, a lot of men like, my mom did this and then she came back and did this and I'm like, well, there's no one else to do it. You were a child. She's the adult. There's no one else to do it. So of course she's going to do 5, 6, 7 things in a day versus a household where mom does 3 things and then dad comes in and do 2 things and it was a little bit different. So you cannot expect something. I don't know. I just think that whole thing is just
I mean, that is super important to look at before we even get into a relationship. And you said something, SB, that I was turned off by. What? You said that their background doesn't matter. I think backgrounds matter. Your culture, I don't think I can date somebody completely outside of my culture. Like, I feel like you need to have like a really good understanding of why I am the way I am. Like, I don't mind teaching certain things, but it's some levels to it. Because
that don't matter to me. I'm now marrying a Jamaican man. Let's just put that out there. Sorry.
I agree. We leaving them Jamaican men back
I told my parents, they already know. There will not have a Jamaican son-in-law. It's not happening.
As unfortunate as it is, I think because we see how Jamaican men operate, and that is such a turn off.
I can list probably some more other type of men I won't be marrying, but I'm not. We're
Jamaicans. We can talk about Jamaican men, but just know.
Yeah, I got you. Don't laugh at us. You're not allowed to laugh at us. No, it's hard out here for us.
It is difficult.
Definitely not dating a Jamaican man. I'm so sorry. I told my parents.
Yeah, and I agree. I will not date a Jamaican man either. I understand because we're Jamaicans. We can talk about it. We see Jamaican men and how they act. Cool off of it.
Yeah,
100%.
Understood.
I don't mind an American boy.
She don't relate.
Don't relate.
I love that for you. I really love that for you. I don't mind an American boy. I love that song by Estelle.
Oh,
Could you be my American boy?
Okay, so I do have another topic for you. What do you feel about still courting each other while you're already in a relationship? Do you think that's important? Thoughts? Anybody? Thoughts? Comments?
Absolutely.
Yes. I feel like you can't stop dating your partner, courting your partner. I mean, because it took a lot to get them or to be where you guys are at right now. Why do you stop loving on each other? Just be like, okay, at that point it's gonna be kind of like transactional or like yeah, not like
robotic.
Yeah, so you want to keep that spark, you want to keep that fire, you want to keep that love that you just got in the beginning going straight throughout your relationship / marriage.
Being
because
intentional about dating each other while still in a relationship. I think that's important.
Yes.
That's how you water your relationship. Spend time with each other intentionally.
Right.
Not just, I just cooked dinner, you want to sit down and chat? Nah.
And then go do what you need to do after. Like, no, you guys need to actually have a conversation. Go out on dates. Go do something fun. Like, don't just be like, all right, I love you too. Like,
so now that you said that, we're going to get in your business just a little bit, not too much. What is your favorite date with your husband so far this year? What's your favorite date? Because she tells us, she's like, we help pick each other's outfits when we have stuff going on. So she's been on a lot of dates. I want to hear what's her favorite one she went on this year. What's your favorite one?
I think my favorite one was what we did for Valentine's Day. We didn't go anywhere in the day. We just did like a charcuterie board, and actually in the house and actually like, you know, played like a couple game. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's like with cards where you ask each other questions.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's something more intimate rather than in the public. And then we went for dinner. I think that was my favorite because we were really connecting on a different level and asked questions we never asked each other for about with the cards.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That's cute. I think that's really important to continue dating your partner while you're in a relationship because we change every day. We become new people every day. So we still have to continue to learn about each other. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think dating each other is absolutely important. Another thing I think is important too is self-care, maintaining yourself. Because me personally, I know when I was in my last relationship, I fell off on self-care, y'all. Like y'all said, I had to cut my hair off because my hair was so damaged. Like I wasn't fully taking care of myself. I was trying to take care of the relationship
more than yourself,
but I couldn't take care of the relationship if I was neglecting myself. And
right.
I think that's what causes an unhealthy dynamic as well. Because if I'm not good, we can't be good.
Right.
So. And both of y'all have to take care of yourself. And you have to have that individuality within your relationship because you don't want to be all about us, and then on the back burner you're, you know, not even feeling yourself. You're not happy internally with other things that's going on in your personal life at work or whatever, family, whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you are feeling good so you can also pour that same feeling towards each other.
Love it, guys. I love this conversation. I really do.
It's a light, refreshing conversation.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like, you know, you need to hear these things because, you know, a lot of people when you get into a relationship, that's it. Like, that's my person.
Yeah.
And you don't do anything else, but you still got to do what you did to get the person while you in the relationship to make sure, you know, the love is still there. It doesn't fade.
That's right.
So another type of relationship that is important as well is friendships. How do we maintain our friendships? Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to put bullet point. How do you maintain friendships where you have to forgive and forget? I'll let you go with this one.
So to start with your part first, how do you maintain friendships? For me personally, I don't have much friends. I can say that with my full chest. I don't. I mean, I really don't have much friends, and that's okay, right? But I personally am that kind of friend. You don't need to be checking in with me every single day. Yeah. You don't need to be and you can do and the friends I have understand that. That's I'm the same way. Like I don't check in them with every single day, but when we do check in, we do make sure everything is okay. Yeah. We do, you know, see everything is going good in our entire lives. But I just first personally feel like to maintain a good friendship, you still need to communicate. Absolutely. Just like how you would for a relationship. And you still would need to talk about things like, you know, if we need to work on something, hey, I haven't heard from you in so long, but not telling me that and expect me to know, well, I haven't spoken to Nisa in 6 months. She don't care about me anymore. And you having that animosity, I'm not gonna know that you feel that way. You need to tell me. And it just always comes down to communication too. Yeah. I think it's also important to understand your friends because if your friends didn't understand the type of person you were, then of course they're gonna be mad when you're not communicating with me. It's been a month and you haven't talked to me. Right. And I feel like me and my best friend, y'all know, like I love that girl to earth, like down to earth. And that's because we have a mutual understanding of each other. We know how we work. Like, we understand how we each think. Like, if I don't talk to her, it's never, oh, did I do something wrong? Where, you know, there's an issue. Like, no, I know she's busy. She's doing her thing. I'm busy. I'm doing my thing. And we good. Whenever we are able to talk again, it's up from there. Like, the conversations never feel awkward after a hiatus of not talking. You know? So I think it's important. Like, you have to have friends who understand. Yes.
So for me, I put the forgive and forget because I want to say I have 3 best friends. One of them, I was very close with him. Like we grew up together, and we kind of fell out a little bit. And the reason we fell out is because I expressed to him he was doing things within his life that I didn't like, and I felt like as a friend, I was not being a good friend by enabling his actions in this. And because I spoke about it till it got to the point where I'm like, listen, like I cannot keep this up with you because it's draining me also. And you know, after we talked about it, we haven't really talked much. And he reached out and was like, you know, I still think about you. I hope everything is well. However, like I'm not able to forgive you for what you said because I felt like you could have waited to deliver what you needed to deliver to me. Wow. And I was like, you know, it bothered me to a certain extent because while they know, like, I tell the truth, like, I don't care I care how it comes out. I don't care if you like it, though. I care about my tone and my delivery. However, I just don't feel like it's beneficial to coddle a friend if they're doing something that's affecting other people. And you yourself are being affected in some way because you're forced to insert yourself into what they're doing. And them not talking to me hurt me as well. But them expressing to me like, I can't forgive you. I'm like, what do you need to forgive me for? I was being a good friend to you. I don't know, that the best friend thing trips me up because y'all are my best friends.
These are my friends.
I've been so grateful. Our family's so big that we have family members within the same age group where there's no like tension between us. Like there's no smoke. Like I know a lot of people don't like their cousins. I cannot see my life without my cousins. Like we talk all the time. Hence why we have a podcast. I just don't see how, I don't know.
I get you.
No, I mean, y'all know I fell out with a friend, and that's because the expectations were completely different. Where with my best friend, as I said, we could talk, a month will go by, all will be good. With this friend that I fell out with, if I wasn't checking on this person every day, it was an issue. And that wasn't realistic for me, you know?
Right. You have your own life.
Exactly. So I can't really speak on forgiving and forgetting because, I mean, I can forgive, but I'm not going to forget because I feel like if I see this person again, I'm going to feel those same things, you know? And I'm not going to want to have that same level of respect, of care, of love. And that's, I mean, as unfortunate as it is, I low-key feel like people don't change. You show me who you are once, and that's who you are to me forever. You could tell me, oh, I got baptized. Baby, I don't care. You're still the same person. Unfortunately.
Well, you know what?
It's hard for me to forgive.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think not forgiving them, though, can lead into not you being healed over the situation that occurred? Because the reason why I ask that is unforgivingness can lead into you not being totally or not being overcome of whatever happened. That's just how I see it. So do you feel like maybe you're not totally over the situation, like as
for
a
the
person?
both of us?
I mean,
or for her?
Both.
That's a good question because I would think that I'm healed from it, but then I'll think about it and I'm like, man, that was messed up. And I will talk about it with other people and they're like, yeah, that's messed up too. And I can't really like think of a way to get over it. Like I don't think I'll fully get over how things ended. I feel like we could have been adult-like and had proper communication to air our disagreements and talk about it. That never happened. And because that wasn't coming from the other person's side, maybe it's just me being avoidant. But as I said, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to press myself over talking to you. Like, I'm not going to beg you for a friendship. Like, I'm going to go where the love is at. And if you're not showing love, what do I need to be there for? So my thing though is like with healing from it, I can't say I'm fully healed because I was a genuine friend. I feel like I was a genuine friend, but that wasn't reciprocated. That wasn't received. And I'm kind of like, I don't understand where I messed up, I guess, or why I couldn't maintain it. But as I said, and I don't need to be talking for long, but every relationship does not need to evolve into something more. Like, it's okay to have acquaintances, it's okay to have associates, it's okay to be strangers. And it's also okay to know that every relationship is not going to last. Some relationships are only here for a season. So I'm not like hurt.
Just not.
But I'm not forgetting that.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Me, I'm hurt. I'm still hurt by it because he does have a child, and I love his kid like if it was my own, or if it was like a family member's child. However, I'm over the situation. I have other friends where their relationship style more adapts with my relationship style. Just like them, we text every day. However, we're not calling every day. And then my other friends, we don't need to talk or text for it to still be love between us. But some people require you to talk, and I make it known, if you need me to hold your hand every single day, I cannot be the friend for you. I can't. If you need me to, when you want to go out, I need to be with you, like, and you're upset that I don't want to go out, I can't be your friend. I really can't. That's just my boundary these days. And I think the circle that I have accumulated right now, I think I'm good with that right now. I'm not opposed to meeting new people and, getting to know other people, because that's my personality. I think I have like a really bubbly personality. I'm like, people always are drawn to me. However, right now, I don't feel the need for modifications or search for more friends. I'm good with my core.
Same. So I was gonna say something because to answer your question now, because I didn't answer your part with the forgiveness and the forgetfulness. I've been in situations where I was hurt because I thought I had like a group of friends that I was cool with or whatever, and apparently we weren't on the same page of me being a genuine person to them, or they having issues with me that I don't see I was doing towards them. And that made me aware and open my eyes to like future friendships where you can be cool with people and they just stab you in the back, right? And just moved on. Like that whole argument, that whole like thing that blew up, it's nothing. Like move on, girl. It's not that serious. So it does make me view trying or getting to know other people differently. Like I kind of put up a wall. So I personally feel like the reason why I asked that question for you both is because I personally feel like I'm not over this, and I have to be real and honest. I'm not over that. I don't want to say not over it. I just haven't forgotten, and because I feel like I haven't forgotten it, I probably not 100% heal about it, and that's something I'm still working through because I don't want to make it seem like what they did to me affect me meeting new people that actually care about me, right? So that's something I'm still healing over, and that's something I'm still working on as an individual person. But I don't let it affect the people that I'm actually friends with. It just might affect people that I'm getting to know it for the first time, because I'm not gonna be open and laughy and hey.
So now you know now what I'm gonna ask her. Wait, what they say? No new friends, no new friends. Oh, so do you agree? Would you say because of this situation you don't want no new friends?
Yeah, like you said, I'm okay with the circle I have right
now. But I didn't say I didn't want no new friends. But I'm okay with the core I have.
Right, and I'm okay with it. And I don't personally feel like I need new friends. However, but I don't think that's healthy to say, because you need people.
Of course.
And you have to get to know people, whether it's work, whether it's whatever the case is, you still have to get to know and talk to people. But like you said, Shika, it's okay to have acquaintances. It's okay to have people like just general. You don't have to put a title on that if it's not something that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
So, Nissa, no new friends? Yes or no?
Child, I'm not gonna say no new friends. No, listen, I'm not gonna say no new friends. I know it sounds like I'm indecisive, but I'm not gonna say no new friends because I don't think that's realistic. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can meet someone else out there and we'd be really cool.
But I'm not gonna lie, when you experience a betrayal like that, it can be difficult to allow people back into your group, like into your inner circle. I've had the same friends since like for 10 years now. I don't think I've made any new friends intentionally. Like I've met people here and there, but the closeness that I have to like with y'all and my friend group, like we're super close. Like we're sisters. Like my family knows all of my friends, and it's not to say that I wouldn't like for
to add someone into
to add people, but it's hard because you don't know who's genuine anymore, and it's hard to. For me personally, it's hard for me to get close to people because I'm not sure if they're genuine. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to. I don't want to say I don't know how to make friends because I've made new friends as a recent. But I'm not gonna say I don't know how to make new friends. Mm-hmm. But what I've noticed about myself now is anytime I am meeting a new person, my walls are up. I am super guarded until I'm seeing actions where, okay, this person is cool, this person can understand me, I can understand them. I'm gonna let my guard down a little bit more. But when I'm just going in like, oh yeah, girl, we besties now. No, ma'am, you're not gonna get that from me. I'm sorry. Like we could hang out. We could take baby steps to growing a friendship. Like the girls that I'm friends with now, like I'm not gonna lie. One of them, like, we hit it off the bat. Like, me and that girl is literally the same person. So it's easy. But where it's someone where you don't really know what their interests and things are, getting to know someone for real to have them be your friend, that's difficult for me.
Yeah, I think I'm very protective of my feelings and just in general when it comes to meeting people because you don't know their intention. People come to destroy and cause all kind of corruption in your life. Correct. When I don't need that. That's like high school stuff. I'm grown. I need people who just here to see me, uplift me. We uplift each other, and we just want to see each other doing good in life.
Absolutely,
like, and support each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. I recently just added a few people to my friend group. Mm-hmm. They're not all in the same friend group. However, I did add a few people, and I love them. I love them real bad. Yeah. I hope they know I love them because sometimes I don't show it. They always say, like, SB, like, one thing about you is you gonna give it to us straight. And I'm like, I hope that doesn't offend you because I just feel like if I could save you from some of the heartaches that I've gone through, why would I not want to, give that to my friend? Mm-hmm. But, everyone has to learn their lesson on their own. But that's just me. Like, that's my way of showing love. Like, I've been through this, and that. Like, here's how you could get to where you don't have to go through.
So you're saying, like, your new friends are saying, like, you might be a little too hard on them based on what they go through?
No. Well, sometimes they're just like, yep, we knew you would give it to us straight. Like, everyone else would, like, kind of, like, walk around it. And I'm like, no.
That's what it is.
It's like,
keep it real, keep it. Yeah.
Don't walk around and like walk through it.
They know I'm real. Yeah. My bestie, she knows I'm real. Okay. I keep it real, blunt, honest because I like people that's honest with me. Yeah. I like people telling me, even though it's ugly, it might not sound good because the truth hurts. Regardless if you want to, the truth hurts, right? So I like the honesty. And I like to also give the honesty. Mm-hmm. And that's something I want in a friendship, and I already have it, and I'm okay with that. So,
shout out to my best friends. They know who they are.
You know, girl.
I love them.
You know, girl.
Okay, so our next topic, this one made me feel real good. Mm-hmm. But our next topic was about accountability. How do you feel like you could take better accountability in relationships? I think, I mean, it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier, but just to sum it up, how do you guys feel like you could take accountability in your relationship? Better accountability if you don't.
I would just say understanding why I'm doing the things I'm doing. So if I did something to hurt my partner, then I need to understand why I even did that in the first place and understand why they are hurt from what I did. And just being real with myself, like, okay, I did this. Yeah, it sucks that I did it, but I did it. What can I learn from it? You know?
Yeah.
That's something that I'm trying to teach myself because um at my church we have like a marriage ministry, and a really good thing that we talked about was pride and how being prideful can ruin relationships. When you don't have the bandwidth to apologize, you don't have the bandwidth to come and say, I messed up, I'm wrong in this area. Like, you're not humble. You're selfish. And that's not the type of person that I want to be. So that's how I'm learning to take accountability. Just put my pride aside and, I'm a human. I am a human. I'm not perfect. I'm not an alien. Like, I'm a human. Yeah. And that's just what it is. Comfortable with me.
And I agree with that, Shika. I would say for me, taking accountability is just being honest with my feelings and honest about my partner feelings, even friends' feelings, and take that into consideration. Yeah. Just not like letting it go over my head, right? So if it's something that's hurtful and I have done, I'm gonna be like, okay, I was wrong, I messed up. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna work on that. I'm not just gonna be like, oh well, guess what I'm just gonna be like, okay, you voiced how you felt, I respect it. And let's find something, or let's figure out how we can move forward and work on this to become better for each other.
Yeah. I like that. Become better for each other.
Yeah.
In all aspects.
SB, how do you take accountability?
Oh, I struggle with saying I'm sorry because I feel like the moment you say you're sorry, people take it and use it against you when you use that. So I know that I do. Like, I hold on to I'm sorry. And nowadays I've been more free to be like, you know what, my bad. Like, that made you feel some type of way, but that wasn't my intention. And then I keep questioning, should I add, however, that wasn't my intention, that you feel that way, or just be like, I'm sorry completely. Those are the things I struggle with accountability. I have no issue saying I'm sorry. I'm wrong. However, sometimes I feel like I question myself because you're like, look, I feel like someone's going to be like, said you're sorry, right? Yeah. Remember the time you said, I feel like I'm sorry, they use it against you a lot. So
that's crazy.
I wanted to say something though. When you said you have, a struggle with saying you're sorry, I don't know if you guys knew, but there's different ways of how people like to receive apologies. Just like how we have different love languages.
We have apology languages.
People like to receive apologies as not a certain way sometimes. Some people, like, you could tell them I'm sorry and that's not enough, right? So we always just have to, I don't want to go too deep in that. I feel like that's something we could think, but
table it.
Yeah, table it.
I mean, why not go deep into it? Because people may not know that apology languages are a thing. Yeah, you could say you're sorry, but what about change behavior? What about actually correcting the issue?
And put the action behind the sorry.
Yeah.
Because that's me. I like if you're going to tell me you're sorry, I want to know, okay,
what are you apologizing for? First and
foremost. And sometimes to a lot of people that feels like you're throwing that back in their face. Like, it's already a struggle enough
to say sorry.
Because sorry requires for you to reevaluate yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to do that in front of, like, you reevaluate, and it's a vulnerable moment.
And that's why that's why it's good to understand each other, because once you're saying you're sorry, that your partner or friend should also know that takes a lot for you to do, and respect it. Say, okay, I forgive you. Give them that reassurance, like, hey, I understand that you're sorry, and I thank you for telling me that you're sorry. And that means a lot to me. Sometimes the other person may need that to hear that, not just, okay, well, I'm sorry. No, like, no, you need that kind of what's the word? Reassurance.
Yeah.
Reassurance.
Yes. So one thing I wanted to add to this is something that my therapist told me, which I feel like it will be helpful for all of us when we're talking about accountability. She asked she said, whenever someone that you're in a relationship, whether it be a romantic relationship, friends, family, and they say something to you that may cause you to question what they're saying, think about where that statement is coming from. Is it coming from love, or is it coming from hate? Are they saying what they're saying to hurt you, or are they saying what they're saying to correct you? And I think that's important to think about, because for me, I used to catch offense very easily, very quickly. This is why I had a conversation with my therapist. And so understanding, as I said, understanding the person that you're talking to is vital, because if you know who you're talking to, you know, like, okay, this person is not saying what they're saying to me to hurt me. It's probably more for correction. Yeah, I may feel hurt, but what they're saying is truthful. As SB says, she's very honest, very blunt, but her honesty can sometimes hurt, because truth does hurt. So where's that hurt coming from? Is it coming from this person hates me? Or is it coming from this person loves me and wants me to do better? You know? I think that'll be helpful for taking accountability as well.
I agree with that.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Yep.
A lot of things that, we should self-reflect on after we get done talking today. Just a lot of self-reflection definitely going to take place.
Definitely.
But now I want to pose to you guys another question. So recently there was a debate on social media in regards to arguing every day in relationships. And the question was, how do you get out of the arguing every day stage in a relationship? So me personally, I'm leaving.
Leaving the environment or the relationship? Leaving
the relationship.
Wow.
Bye.
Immediately?
Why arguing every day? That is so draining.
Yeah.
Once I read it, I was like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Every day, like there's an issue every day. I don't know. That's not normal.
I don't think in that case you don't like each other, because why are we arguing every single day? That's tiring.
That's not normal.
That's not normal.
But I want to hear the married lady's point of view.
Well, I feel like arguing every day could be an issue that you're not talking about. And that means any little thing is annoying. Any little thing your partner is saying is annoying you. It's getting you uproar. Like, why is that happening? So I personally, before, if we're arguing every day, I'm gonna be like, okay, wait, hold on. We're arguing every day. Something is wrong. I'm gonna try to dissect the situation and be like, okay, that's me personally though. I'll be like, okay, we need to figure this out. Like, we can't be arguing every day and we say we love each other. Like, this don't make sense. So let's figure out why you're being ticked off so easily and why I'm being ticked off so easily, and let's see if we can find a solution and work on that. And if that happens, and shoot, nothing. At least I tried. I just a person. Before I give up, I like to try. That's me.
But some people like the toxicity. Some people, again, family dynamics. If you see your parents arguing every single day and they were so-called in love, you probably will believe that arguing every day is healthy for your partner. And I've heard people say that arguing every day is healthy because it's a way of communicating your grievances. But
arguing, like are they sure of the verbiage? Because there's a difference between arguing and having a disagreement.
Right.
This is true. Yeah.
Like going at each other.
I believe, I don't remember specifically, but they did say arguing is healthy because it shows that you care about your partner. They say, oh, if I wasn't arguing with you, I don't care for you.
I don't know.
Messed up mindset, right? That's a tricky mindset. I do not agree that you should be arguing every day. Because to me, you don't like me. You're nitpicking at everything that I do. You're finding reasons to have an argument.
Right.
And we're not working towards resolving our issue.
And I feel like to me, people who argue every day in a relationship, there's something either that person has done that they just can't stand. And they just want to be like, I hate you, but instead of saying that, let me just get at you. Let me just find something to just pick at you.
And that's real. That is so real. I feel like sometimes People who want to get out of their relationships, they'll purposefully sabotage the relationship. This is manipulative. Very manipulative to then blame it on the other person and have the other person say, okay, let's break up, instead of them being
like, I want out.
Yeah. Be serious and say, I want out. Yeah. That, I think that could be why they argue every day. I don't know how to get out of that though. I've never been in that situation.
But to go off of what you said though, what you would do is, and I think at some point, if you know this is just too toxic and it's okay to leave, because you don't want that. Can be very mentally draining, and it can mess with you mentally, emotionally, every anally. So I feel like we just have to know when it's time to walk away.
That is super important too, knowing when to walk away.
Yeah,
because I mean, we're attached to each other. Sometimes we get into relationships to avoid loneliness. So, when it's hard to walk away from something, it could just be that you don't even like the person. You just don't want to be alone. So, let's be intentional and mindful, y'all.
Yeah.
Intentional and mindful. But arguing my thing is, I just can't see myself in a situation that's going to be positive if we're arguing every day. It's going to get to the point where something bad happens. And that's why I'm always clarifying, do people know the difference between an argument and a disagreement? We could disagree, but arguing, you're putting your whole force, your whole body into anger. There's anger behind it, versus a disagreement where you're just a little annoyed. So which one is it? Because I just don't see how arguing with someone every day means I care about them. If anything, that means you're irritating me.
And it could lead to something real violent.
That's what I said. There's no way that you can like a person and want to argue with them every day.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I think a good way to get out of that is understanding. I think understanding is everything. You have to understand, because I'm sure it wasn't always like that.
Right.
So we have to go back to what started these consistent arguments and try to root that out. As Nissa was saying, try to dissect the arguments. Why did this start? And what are we actually even arguing about?
Right.
Because I don't know if y'all remember that one song, Mad by Neo. We mad at each other. We don't even know why we mad. We just mad. Yeah. And I mean, for some people, they enjoy being toxic, so they may enjoy arguing every day to get that feeling out instead of maybe redirecting the energy into something else.
Mediating the problem.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're arguing every day,
take this as her sign to leave.
Yeah, if you're arguing every day, you need to get to the bottom of what's making y'all argue every day, and if you can't mediate it, I don't want to leave. If you're married though, I can't say this for married people. Married people,
easy.
It's to just leave like that. This different, but for people who are courting, dating, whatever you want to call it, you might want to cut your ties with this person, because that's how your future with them is going to look like.
Yeah, and I mean, arguments are inevitable in a relationship. But you have to know how to curb it. Every day is crazy.
And approach it with an adult, because some people are still childish and they be
absolutely.
They just don't care. They would say hurt, and the thing is, when it comes to arguments, hurtful things are gonna be said. So the more you argue, you don't think that person might remember, oh, you call me this name, and then the argument just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then someone might just explode.
And that's why I say I think it's important to realize pride. If you're operating in pride, we need to drop that and remember that the situation that's happening, it's not me versus my partner. It's me and my partner versus this situation.
Yes.
We need to find a way to come together to tackle what is separating us. That's what I think.
And I also just want to add, when you're with someone, you have to remember, you gotta be selfless. And when I mean selfless, you can't have this, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me. You gotta think about the other person's feelings. Absolutely. So if you're calling no matter what the dynamic of the argument is, it can get nasty. And if it's getting to the point where it's nasty, you really need to look into, okay, you're calling me these names, you're saying these things, I'm calling you these names. Why?
Yeah.
What are they
like?
said,
how is that benefiting you?
Yeah.
Like, how is this argument benefiting us as individuals and the relationship? And if you can genuinely answer how it's benefiting you, that's crazy. Because arguing, there's no benefit in that. No, for real. If you're sitting here like, oh yeah, us arguing is benefiting us.
Yeah.
As I said, toxic people might see it as, oh, it's a way for us to bond.
Yeah.
But hello, that's not a healthy bond.
Healthy.
It's not
unhealthy.
You have to think about the why. Yeah. Why is this continuously happening?
Yeah. So, something I was here trying to find a poll. So we've been doing a few polls, y'all. And as soon as you was like, why is this continuously happening? I was remembering something that went viral. Mm-hmm. So I had to go find the poll to make sure I could pull it up for you guys. Okay. $30 lunches, y'all.
I'm crying.
Okay. So before I get their point of view, I did a poll on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. It is the Jamaican Amazon. I put polls on my Instagram and on M.R.S's podcast Instagram. The poll was, is $30 for lunch enough money for you to get lunch? Yeah, is $30 enough money for you to get lunch? I had 50 people on the poll reply yes, and then I had 2 people reply no. So ladies, is $30 enough money for you to get lunch?
More than enough.
More than enough. Like,
don't do that.
Because like if it's a weekend and I'm feeling good, I might want to go.
What does that have to do with the person that's sending it to you? Lunch. $30 for lunch.
$30, yes. $30 is more than enough. I mean, all I need really is $20 to go to Kava and get me a good meal.
Lunch, not dinner.
And what are you eating for over $30?
So I had to break it down because I'm in the budgeter's mind. I could go to McDonald's or Wendy's and get a biggie bag or the $5 meal deal and still have money left over for dinner. What are people eating? You could go to Publix and get
fast food.
You could go to Publix and get a sub for $5 and a drink and still have money left over. What are you eating? You could go to McAllister's and get a meal and still have money left over. You could go to the Chinese buffet, get a meal, endless meal,
and a drink,
and still have money and still have money left over. So, does it get to a point where these women are selfish? Is it selfish?
I think a lot of people are selfish.
I think it's greed.
And just trying to see what they could get out of that person.
Because I feel like if you're saying $30 is not good enough for lunch, you're clearly trying to...
Where are we going?
You're clearly trying to... What's the word when... Trick? Is it? No. That's the person that's spending it. Right? They're clearly just trying to get more money out of this person. Because... Or you're being greedy because you got to be eating something more than worth as $30.
But I'm thinking,
and you're not going to finish it.
Where do they live? Because in New York, lunch can get expensive.
No, we're not gonna base it up north. We're basing it where we
I'm just saying.
We're basing it here, where we are right now.
For us. And what am I doing for the day? Like,
what does that have to do with the person sending you the $30?
Sometimes a meal can become $50.
What?
That's on you, though.
Wait, what you be eating?
What you mean? Salmon is expensive.
For lunch?
For lunch, yeah. Y'all don't have salmon for lunch?
I don't eat fish.
But is that realistic for the person that's sending you money? Like, you will feed yourself that. However, someone that's just being kind to you to give you lunch money is not thinking about you trying to eat salmon and steak for lunch. But that's unrealistic.
First of all, somebody sending me money for lunch is giving father.
Okay.
What? I don't ask people for money.
No, but what?
But it has nothing to you. We didn't see you ask.
Oh, so they just randomly
gave you $30.
I mean, that's nice. Thank you.
Right. And but don't say, "Oh, that ain't enough."
Lord.
Because what a person said, they said, "Child, if
$30 was not enough.
If $30 is not enough, you don't even if that's not okay. Let's just say I wanted steak for lunch, and the $30 ain't cover the steak, but I'll just randomly send me $30, I'm gonna be thankful for it, and I'm gonna add the 10 or the 20.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I probably had my own money to get my lunch anyways, but you just gave me something. So that's I'm like, you're saying it's not. I'm like, are you okay? Like, because there's me personally, I'm grateful. You thought about me and you decided to go into your bank account to send me something,
right?
In hopes of making my day. $30 is more than enough for me. I've never complained.
$30 is definitely more than enough, but you're not doing no fast food for lunch. Sorry.
For most people, fast food is for lunch, though, so you can't. I'm not knocking that. Yeah. You may not do fast food for lunch, so you're different. Yeah. But for the majority of us, that's clean. That's what I'm saying. I want some French fries every once in a while and a nice icy Sprite that could electrocute me.
Right. A long heavy shift in the first half.
Exactly. A juice. That's good enough for me. I won't even lie to you guys.
Yeah, $30 is more than enough.
More than enough.
I'm thinking maybe like they're ordering sushi though, but that's not typical.
It don't even matter because sushi is $5 on Wednesdays at Publix.
Even if it's not enough, add your own money.
Exactly.
This person sent money out the kindness of their heart. Why are you being picky? Like
I'm with you when you're right, sister.
And that's why I said it's giving father, because if somebody sent you $30 and you're not appreciative, like why are you expecting them to send like $100? Go ask your daddy for that. Like. I'm just saying, like, why are we getting upset over $30? They did not have to send you $30. They didn't even have to send you $1, and you're mad for $30. That's wild. But what else you got for us, SB?
That's honestly it, you know. So you guys, we want to hear your thoughts on the topics we discussed today. I know it was a lot, and you know, message us, email us, slide up on some of the stories that we post, and let us know. And don't forget, you can email us at MRSthepodcast3@gmail.com.
Yep. And I would just want to say, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Like, we really appreciate people that's already rocking with us and just got here with us. We appreciate y'all.
Shout out to y'all.
So yes, follow us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok. And listen, we got more in store for you guys, so trust me, you'll love it.
And some guests, probably.
Maybe some guests, who knows?
All right, well, that is it for today. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to M.R.S. the podcast. We'll chat next time.
Bye y'all.